Okay, so until recently, when somebody said, Dr. Lee, is that bad? I said, we don't have any evidence of if it's bad or not. It's something I'd like to avoid. Now we have the evidence. A study that was done out of Italy about a year and a half ago found in people who had cardiovascular disease, so they had damaged blood vessels, they had plaques, narrowing of their blood vessels, specifically the blood vessels feeding their brain, all right? And they found when they were doing the procedure, the standard medical procedure to take out the blockage, so you can go in there and fish out the plaque and open up the blood vessel, they found microplastics in the blood vessels in the clots. Wow. Whoa. They're studying embedded in the clots. And then when they actually did the outcome studies, they found those people who had, not everybody had plastics, but a lot of people did. Those people who had microplastics embedded in their clot had a 4-fold increase in the risk of having a fatal heart attack or stroke.
Welcome, everyone, to a truly pivotal conversation that cuts to the very heart of our health in the modern world. Today, we are profoundly privileged to learn from Dr. William Lee, a visionary physician and scientist whose rigorous research and compassionate communication consistently translate complex scientific discoveries into actionable insights for our daily lives. He guides us through the increasingly undeniable evidence of harm caused by an unseen pervasive force, microplastics. Prepare to confront the sobering truth about their presence within our most vital organs and systems, and crucially, to gain the life-changing wisdom to take practical, protective steps for your well-being. Think for a moment about the groundbreaking medical discoveries that have shaped our understanding of health, from identifying infectious diseases to understanding genetic predispositions. Each revelation pushed humanity forward. Dr. Lee argues that we are now experiencing one such profound revelation concerning microplastics. For years, their widespread environmental presence was acknowledged, but their direct impact on human health remained a question mark. That question mark, he emphasizes, is now being replaced by undeniable scientific evidence, painting a clear and, frankly, alarming picture of their insidious effects within our bodies. Dr. Lee recounts his own journey of understanding this emerging threat. He admits that initially, like many in the scientific community, he viewed microplastics primarily as an environmental pollutant, not fully grasping their direct biological consequences for humans. While concerns about plastic pollution mounted, the direct link to human disease was less clear. However, as a true scientist, his perspective evolved with the evidence. He describes the growing body of research, much of it very recent and compelling, that has transformed microplastics from an environmental nuisance into a profound and urgent public health concern. The sheer ubiquity of microplastics is staggering. Dr. Lee explains that these tiny particles, less than 5 millimeters in size, are constantly breaking down from the vast amounts of plastic produced and discarded globally. Even more insidious are nanoplastics, which are thousands of times smaller, completely invisible, yet capable of penetrating our cells and tissues with ease. He emphasizes that we are not merely surrounded by plastic. We are, in a very real sense, ingesting and inhaling it on a daily basis, often without even realizing it. The problem is no longer out there in the environment. It is now unequivocally in here, within our own biological systems. And the evidence of harm, Dr. Lee states, is now tragically clear. He points to groundbreaking research, particularly a study published just a year and a half ago out of Italy, that served as a profound wake-up call. This study investigated patients undergoing procedures to remove blockages from their blood vessels, specifically those feeding the brain. What researchers discovered was astonishing. Microplastics were found embedded directly within the arterial plaques and blood clots that were causing these life-threatening blockages. This wasn't merely a trace amount. The plastic was physically integrated into the very pathology of the disease. But the most chilling finding from that study, Dr. Lee explains, was the direct correlation with clinical outcomes. They found that those individuals who had microplastics embedded in their blood clots faced a staggering fourfold increase in the risk of suffering a fatal heart attack or stroke. This is not a theoretical or distant risk. It is a direct, measurable, and life-threatening consequence. He likens it to finding shards of glass inside an engine, causing critical failures. The plastic particles are not just passive passengers. They appear to be active contributors to serious, often fatal, cardiovascular events. The alarming evidence doesn't stop at the cardiovascular system. Dr. Lee highlights other disturbing discoveries about microplastic presence in our most vital and sensitive organs. Research has now confirmed that microplastics have been found in the human brain. He notes that in some cases, the quantity of plastic accumulated in the brain is so significant that it could be measured on a sensitive kitchen scale. The implications are profound. This plastic in the brain has been shown to stimulate inflammation, a process strongly linked to a range of cognitive issues, including brain fog, memory problems, and could potentially be a contributing factor to the rising rates of neurodegenerative diseases and dementia. Furthermore, Dr. Lee reveals concerning findings in the male reproductive system. Microplastics have been detected in testicles and even in human semen, with urologists performing surgeries on the penis, also finding microplastics embedded in the tissue. While the full impact on fertility and reproductive health is still under investigation, the mere presence of these foreign particles in such sensitive and critical organs raises serious questions and demands immediate attention. This demonstrates the pervasive reach of microplastics throughout the entire human body, impacting systems vital for both individual health and the continuation of life. Now, before we delve into practical, actionable strategies that you can implement in your daily life to dramatically reduce your exposure to these ubiquitous microplastics and thereby lessen these health risks, we want to build a supportive community around this vital information. If you are finding Dr. Lee's insights on the undeniable evidence of harm from microplastics impactful and are motivated to reduce your own exposure, please take a moment to like this video. Share it with your friends and family who you believe could also benefit from understanding this critical modern health challenge. Subscribe to our channel for more empowering content on health and well-being. And most importantly, we invite you to share your own thoughts and initial reactions in the comments below. What aspect of this evidence of harm most surprised or concerned you? What existing habits might you consider changing? And what new protective strategies are you eager to explore? Your stories and insights can inspire others and help us build a collective understanding of how to navigate this modern environment. Let's learn and grow together. Given the profound and undeniable evidence of harm caused by microplastics within our bodies, Dr. Lee emphasizes that while complete elimination of exposure might be impossible in our plastic-saturated world, we possess the power to make significant, life-saving choices that dramatically reduce our daily burden. He offers practical, actionable strategies that empower you to create a healthier environment within your own home and daily routine, actively mitigating these emerging health risks. One of the most impactful changes Dr. Lee advocates is filtering your drinking water. He explains that despite municipal efforts, tap water in many developed countries still contains microplastics. Public filtration systems are not yet universally equipped to remove these minuscule particles. He strongly recommends investing in a high-quality home water filter, specifically a reverse osmosis system, for all your drinking and cooking water. While reverse osmosis filters do remove beneficial minerals, Dr. Lee reminds us that our primary source of essential minerals should be from our food, and trace minerals can easily be added back to water if desired. His clear and urgent message, either you get a filter, or your body becomes the filter. Next, Dr. Lee strongly advises avoiding plastic food containers and dinnerware, especially when heat is involved. He urges viewers to toss out plastic storage containers in their kitchens, particularly for storing leftovers or reheating food. Heating food in plastic, whether in a microwave or even by storing hot food in plastic, significantly accelerates the leaching of microplastics and other harmful chemicals into your meal. His simple, effective solution: switch entirely to glass or stainless steel containers for food storage and meal prep. These materials are inert and do not leach harmful substances, providing a safe and clean environment for your food. Even if the lids are plastic, they typically do not directly touch the food, minimizing transfer. Another often overlooked source of microplastic exposure is cooking surfaces. Dr. Lee highlights the danger of scratched Teflon or other non-stick pans. These coatings are essentially plastic, and when scratched or heated to high temperatures, they can release thousands to tens of thousands of micro and nanoplastics directly into your food. His practical and timeless solution: switch to stainless steel or cast iron cookware. These durable materials are chemical-free, last for generations, and are the workhorses of professional kitchens for good reason. They provide a safe and reliable cooking surface without the hidden dangers of plastic coatings, directly reducing ingestion of plastic particles. Dr. Lee also draws attention to personal care items, particularly your toothbrush. He explains that as you repeatedly use a plastic toothbrush, its bristles wear down and shed microplastics directly into your mouth, which can then be ingested. His practical advice is to change out your toothbrush frequently, long before it shows visible signs of wear. Alternatively, consider more sustainable options like bamboo toothbrushes or electric toothbrushes with replaceable, non-plastic heads to minimize both plastic waste and personal exposure to ingested microplastics. He further emphasizes being mindful of clothing choices. The ubiquitous nature of synthetic fabrics like polyester, nylon, and spandex means our clothing is a constant source of microplastic shedding. As these clothes are worn, and especially when washed, tiny fibers break off and enter our environment and bodies. While it's challenging to avoid all synthetics, Dr. Lee encourages prioritizing natural fibers like organic cotton, wool, linen, and hemp whenever possible, especially for items worn closest to the skin or for sleepwear. This simple shift can reduce a significant source of daily microplastic exposure, whether through inhalation or dermal contact. Finally, Dr. Lee urges a more discerning approach to food packaging. A vast array of fresh produce and pantry items are now pre-wrapped in plastic. He suggests prioritizing fresh produce that is not pre-wrapped or buying in bulk whenever feasible. He also recommends opting for items packaged in glass, paper, or metal whenever these alternatives are available. He points out that the vast majority of highly processed foods are also packaged in plastic, so by simply focusing on whole, unprocessed foods, you naturally reduce your reliance on plastic packaging and the chemicals that can leach from it, streamlining your efforts to reduce microplastic exposure. In conclusion, Dr. William Lee delivers a powerful and urgent message. The scientific evidence of harm from microplastics is undeniable, impacting our cardiovascular system, our brains, and our reproductive organs. However, he empowers us with clear, practical, and low-stress strategies to significantly reduce our exposure. From filtering our water and choosing glass containers to upgrading our kitchenware and being mindful of our clothing and food packaging, each conscious decision is a profound act of self-protection, safeguarding our long-term health and fostering a more vibrant existence. He urges us to select just one or two of these practical tips and implement them starting today. Perhaps it's finally investing in that water filter you've been considering, replacing a scratched non-stick pan with a new stainless steel skillet, or even just making a conscious effort to choose produce not wrapped in plastic. Every conscious step you take to minimize your exposure to microplastics is a direct investment in your future health, your energy levels, and your overall well-being. Now, as we conclude this vital discussion on the undeniable harms of microplastics, we want to invite you to become an active part of a supportive community dedicated to making informed choices for lasting health and a cleaner lifestyle. If you have found Dr. Lee's insights valuable and are motivated to apply these strategies in your daily life, please take a moment to like this video. Share it with your friends and family who you believe could also benefit from this critical information. Subscribe to our channel for more empowering content on health and well-being. And most importantly, please share your own experiences and practical tips in the comments below. What small changes have you already made to reduce plastic in your life? What challenges do you face in minimizing exposure? And what innovative solutions have you discovered? Your stories and wisdom can provide invaluable inspiration and practical guidance. Let's connect, share, and empower each other to create healthier environments for ourselves and for future generations. Thank you for joining us.